Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vish and welcome back to another week's worth of vlog. So I think I'm just gonna keep doing this and see how it goes. If I want to do it right, I need practice. We're gonna continue and I hope you enjoy this week's vlog. It is Monday, the 8th of March, and I have to go and get groceries. It's Monday. That's what we do here in this household. We get groceries on a Monday. So we're set up for the week. And today's plan, actually, I have a lot of work to do as per usual, but I think I'm going to prioritize editing the last week's vlog and kind of get that scheduled for tomorrow, so that's out of the way. And then I am going to do some uni work, so just basically prep work for this week. So for my lit class, I have to read some Mary Wollstonecraft stories. I think that's how you say it. And then for my narrative in the digital age, I have to read a graphic novel called Beverly, and I also have to finish the show called Homecoming that's on Prime. I have to finish that show for the digital age class. I don't know if I've talked about it in my last week's vlog, but Homecoming is essentially this TV show that's actually starring Julia Roberts, and it's a 10-episode show. So far, all I know, it's basically about this company that is called the Homecoming Initiative, or like training center, where soldiers that have done their duty come to this center to kind of reassimilate themselves into society by like helping them with like their resume and like how to do interviews, that kind of thing. But there's obviously something fishy going on and no one knows what's happening. And there's actually two timelines, so one in the present and one in the past when that initiative is still happening. And in the present, there's this guy from the Department of Defense is trying to figure out what actually happened. And Julia Roberts' role in this whole thing is that she is a psychologist. She's the one that talks to the soldiers and just help them mentally. So yeah, that is what I have to watch. I think I'm on like episode 4. I need to watch the entire thing before my tutorial this week, which is on Thursday. And then for my marketing class, I have to actually watch last week's lecture and then do a quiz that's due today. And for my communications class, I also have to do some required reading for that before the lecture. Or actually no, I just have to do it by this week. Okay, so that's my uni stuff for the week, and let me go through what I'm going to be reading this week. So last week I started reading Golden Sun, and voila, I'm still reading Golden Sun. I am on page 246 of Golden Sun, and like I said from my previous vlog, I am really enjoying this more than Red Rising because it's kind of like a step up from Red Rising. So really enjoying this. If you don't know, Red Rising is following Darrow, who's a red, and in this world people are classed by colors, so red being the lowest, gold being the highest, and they're kind of like revered like gods. And Darrow finds out that the reds are being treated as slaves and he wants to get back at the golds, so he kind of infiltrates the golds and to take them down from within. So that is Red Rising. Golden Sun is just following after the events of Red Rising. It's very much political, but it's also very action-packed, and the action-packed scenes are epic. My second read of the week is Fire Study by Mariah V. Snyder. This is my ongoing buddy read with Abby. I'll link her channel down below. And Sam from the Shell Space Discord. The three of us are making our way through the Chronicles of Ixia series. So the first book being Poison Study, second book being Magic Study, third book being Fire Study. And then we're continuing on with the series spin-off, which is the Sea Glass series, I think. And then continuing on with the rest of the trilogy, which is like book 7, 8, 9, I think. So third book of the series, Poison Study, basically follows Yelena, who is up for execution for something that she did, and Valak, the head of security, gives her a choice, so she can either be executed or she become a poison taste tester for the commander. And obviously Yelena chooses some sort of life, so she becomes a poison taste tester, and she lives in this world called Ixia, and in Ixia magic is banned. but the neighboring country, Citium, is actually a magical country. And being in Ixia, Yelena has magical powers and she can't tell anyone because, like I said, magic is banned in Ixia, so she has to try and figure that out and also try and stay alive while tasting poisons. I absolutely love the series. This is a YA series. It's classified as a YA series, but it really should be a new adult series just because it has a lot of dark adult themes. Definitely look up the trigger warnings before you go into the series, especially the first, I'm pretty sure 3 books is very dark. It's not descriptive or explicit, but it's there and it may be triggering to some people. I'm not sure, but definitely just in case, like, look up trigger warnings and stuff. Abby did a video comparing Poison Study and Throne of Glass because they had very similar tropes, and I'll link that video as well down below so you can check out. And in Magic Study, I found out that it's very similar to the Akatar series, especially Court of Mist and Fury. I saw like a lot of correlations between Magic Study and that, so that was pretty cool to see. But Poison Study came first, so like it's the original trope for that series. I'm not saying Sarah J. Maas copied or anything. I'm just saying like we saw those tropes first in Murray V. Snyder's books. So that's book number 2. The third book, let me go get it. My third read of the week is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Last week I've just been listening to the audiobook of it and I got up to 272 and I'm really enjoying my reread. I absolutely love the characters. So if you don't know, the characters from Chain of Gold are actually the children of the characters from Infernal Devices. So I really am really enjoying the characters in this and the relationship they have between each other, and also seeing the characters from the Infernal Devices and how they act as adults, because in Infernal Devices we see them as children as well, and in this we see them as adults. So it's cool to see how they've grown as well. So in this book, basically in 1900s England, there's not really much demon activity going on after the aftermath of Infernal Devices. And one day they have a demon attack in broad daylight, which doesn't happen because demons don't come out in daylight, they come out in the dark. So that happens and they have to try and figure out what's happening. This is so good. I feel like this is her best work so far. Chain of Iron just came out last week and I've shown my copy in last week's vlog. So I'm trying to finish this so I can read Chain of Iron, but I don't know how soon I can get to it just because I have a few books that I have to get to first. So these are the books that I'm reading this week. It is a lot, I know, and I'm sorry for the repetitiveness from last week's vlog, just because I'm a slow reader now with everything that's going on with uni and the things I have to read for uni. It'll be slow and I'm sorry for the repetitiveness, but that's just what's gonna have to happen. Okay, I've talked too much now. This is a long intro. I am going to read for a little bit before we have to go grocery shopping, and then once that's done, we don't have to go out anymore and I can just sit down and edit last week's vlog, let it upload and schedule it for release for tomorrow. So I'm gonna go do that now. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Sorry I didn't update you for a while. I'm sorry, like, I'm not wearing glasses just because it's really hot and it's just bothering me. But anyway, I was busy on Monday just because doing schoolwork, and then on Tuesday I had my usual 4 classes, and then I came home at 4 and then I did some more schoolwork. I didn't get to read, but I did manage to listen to my audiobook of Chain of Gold. Slowly but surely we're getting there, and I'm on page 327, so halfway finally, and that's pretty much all I've read. For Fire Study, I am only on page 28, like literally haven't read anything. Golden Sun, haven't touched it, but however, for uni I did read a graphic novel called Beverly by Nick Donaso. I think that's how you say it. This is a graphic novel that I had to read for my digital age class, and we looked at it yesterday and stuff in the lecture. I don't know how to classify this. I think it's kind of like horror. I'm not sure because it's very Black Mirror-esque. Like, there are different stories within the graphic novel, but they all kind of connect. So characters you see in like the first few stories are also in the rest. You know what I mean? It's kind of Black Mirror-ish, where it's very dark and twisty, but also kind of like life lessons a little bit, but it creeps you out. It's so hard to explain, but the best way I can explain it, it's like a Black Mirror show, but they're different stories, so they're kind of like different episodes. It was really good. I gave it 4 stars. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do. It's kind of on the expensive side in Kindle form and also the paperback, but if you can find it in like a library or something, like definitely read it for sure. I definitely wouldn't have picked it up if I didn't have to read it for school, but I'm glad I did. I really did enjoy it, and I was also, like I said, creeped out a little bit from a few of the stories, but still enjoyed it. So that's the one book I read so far this week. I really want to read some more, but I have a ton of schoolwork to do still. I have to start, let me get the book. I have to start reading Normal People by Sally Rooney, because this is the, I guess, next text that I have to read for my next week's digital age class. So I thought I should start reading this, so by the time I get to a lecture next week, it'll be done. How many pages is this? This is 266 pages. It's not bad. I think I should be able to finish this before Tuesday. That is the goal. So basically now I'm in the middle of 4 books, which is unheard of because I like to read 1 book at a time. So these are all the books that I have to read. But Normal People takes priority, and then Fire Study, and then Golden Sun, and lastly Chain of Gold. It is like 1:40 p.m. at the moment. Literally, like I said, just finished watching my communications lecture. I have to do the required reading for communications and then do a couple of quizzes for it. It's like I have quizzes every week that I have to do. It's part of the whole assessments thing. Okay, I should go do that. I'm sorry this update's pointless, but this is what is going on in my life. Chaos. Okay, bye. Hello. It is later in the day. It is 6:50. It's almost 7. I'm not having a good day, to be honest, and I had a massive surge to take up knitting. So let's go get some knitting supplies. No explanation needed. Let's go get knitting supplies. Hello. It is now Saturday. Welcome to another episode of Does Vish Know Time? She does not. So I'm supposed to film a World Hoppers video, and it's supposed to be on the Saturday, 4 p.m. CST. I thought it was my Saturday. It is not, because I am in the future. So it's tomorrow for me at 6 a.m. So I woke up at 5 a.m. today for no reason. It is now 7 a.m. because I sat here waiting to be on this live show, and halfway and I realized that it's not my Saturday. It was nice to watch the sunrise at least. Like I said, it's Saturday. I am very sorry I haven't updated you since Wednesday. I know you were expecting a montage of like me getting knitting supplies, but I went alone and my hands were full and I couldn't pull out my phone to film anything, so I apologize. And I will get to the knitting, but just this week hasn't been great for me. I just have work issues, and speaking of work, I actually took a sick day today just because I can't really deal with work at the moment, and it shouldn't bother me as much because I'm only there 1 day a week and I'm a casual. So for it to bother me, it's a big thing, and it's not only bothering me, it's also bothering Sam because we work at the same place. We've just been having work issues, and I also got news that my entire family in Malaysia might have COVID just because one of my cousins came in contact with a person who was positive. Now she's positive, and she's been around my entire family, especially my dad. And my dad has previously had a heart attack, so he has some heart conditions. So I'm very worried, but so far they aren't presenting any symptoms and they've tested negative. And then I also had uni, my usual 4-day classes on Thursday. Friday and Wednesday I didn't have any classes, but I did do a lot of study just because I have 2 assignments due next Friday and Saturday. So I have a lot to do, but because yesterday and Wednesday I didn't have a good day because of the work issues, because of that I was really anxious and I couldn't really do anything. So Wednesday I broke and I went to get knitting supplies, and yesterday I was on TikTok the entire day just so I could feel better, not feel crap, because when I get anxious I can't do anything because I'm so restless. So I need to do another thing besides the things that I have to do or want to do, if that makes sense, like a totally different thing, just so I can relax a little bit. It's just how I work, weirdly enough. So Wednesday, knitting. So different. And yesterday TikTok, because I haven't been on TikTok for like months, so that really helped. So with that, I haven't read anything, and now I am in between 4 books, which is unheard of. I am never between 4 books, 2 maximum. So you know, Golden Sun, Chain of Gold, Fire Study, and Normal People by Sally Rooney. I think I mentioned that I need to read it for school. Since I took a day off work today, I thought I'd focus on that, meaning reading Normal People, and see if I can finish it today. So that is the plan for this very nice Saturday, actually. And to be honest, I'm not that better from all my work situation, but it is what it is. I'm just glad I took a day off today because I didn't want to deal with it. Okay, let me show you my knitting progress. Okay, so when I started on Wednesday, I made like a little patch, and it's just like a test patch to practice my stitching and stuff like that. So I gave that to Sam to have, because I don't know what I'd do with it, and I want to make a scarf. So this is my progress so far. As you can see, the stitches in the middle here are much better than the stitches over here. And also you were like, what is this, right? I started with 20 stitches and I have now 24. I don't know how that happened, but I now have 24 stitches, and I couldn't get a bamboo knitting stick. Is that what you call it? Knitting needle. That's it. I couldn't get a bamboo one, so I had to get a plastic one. I'll see if Amazon has bamboo ones, because the place where I went did not have a 10mm bamboo knitting needle. And I got this wool, which is 100% merino wool, and it's very wispy and fuzzy, but it's soft and stretchy. But I do not recommend using this as a beginner, just because after, I think twice it happened to me now in this. So it was like somewhere around here that the wool like kind of tore away, and I had to like join it together and keep on knitting. And then I had to YouTube how to join 2 balls of yarn, just in case, because I have 2 other balls and this one is finishing. And I applied that same concept to when the yarn broke away. So I did it somewhere around here and you can't really see it, which is great. So yeah, I'm enjoying knitting very much. I only started doing it on Wednesday. I had no idea how to knit, and that's my progress so far since Wednesday. So yeah, not having a good week. Haven't read anything, but I think I'll be okay. Hello, hello. It is later in the day, Saturday, and it is like 8:10 p.m. So after that disaster morning, I went back to bed, and then for the rest of the day I kind of just chilled with Sam, and then I also read some Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'm on page 112, almost halfway, and I think I mentioned I'm reading this for uni, to read it by Tuesday, and so far it's basically about these 2 characters, Connell and Marianne. They live in Ireland, so it's kind of like a European UK setting. And it starts out with them as teenagers and how they became friends, and then also kind of developed a relationship between them. And so far where I'm at, they're at university. Their relationship is very, very complicated. And in my head as a person, like I can see it objectively why it would be complicated. But for me as a person of who I am, I'm very much a person that loves to communicate when there's something wrong, or if I have strong feelings about something, I communicate with my significant other to like try and solve it and like tell him how I feel instead of just ignoring it. So it's very frustrating in that aspect because, like I said, communicator. But I definitely do understand why they don't communicate, because they both have mental health issues and they both have pasts that has enabled them to express their emotions healthily. There are moments between them that are very tender and very lovely, and there are moments between them where I'm like, God, just speak to each other, you know? And this also has a very interesting format. It's kind of like a play, like things are described as like a play. It's very in detail. It tells you she's doing this, and she's described as this, you know? Like very play-esque kind of description. And the dialogue has no quotation marks for them. It's just like a sentence, but it's dialogue. I don't know if it's like a printing error or it's a choice. Either way, it's very, very interesting. I'm actually enjoying it, other than the frustrating part, but that's just like kind of me, but I can see it objectively as why it would be like that. So I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. And that is the only reading that I've done today. So Sam is working. I dropped him off at work and I have to pick him up later at 10. So I thought I'd go see my mom on this lovely Saturday night. I'm just gonna go hang out with my mom, probably read together, because I don't know if you know, but my mom reads a lot. She reads a lot more than me. Literally all the books that are on my shelves, she's read probably like 80% of them. And we also share a Kindle account, so I have a lot of ebooks as well. I love my mom. She is great. So I'm gonna go hang out with her. And tomorrow is Sunday, and I have to wake up at crack of dawn again. I'm an idiot. I swear to God. I told Sam this morning and he cracked up laughing for like a good 2 minutes. Okay, I go now. Bye. Hello. It is now Monday, like 3:30 p.m. I apologize for not updating you on Sunday, I believe. So Sunday morning I had my little World Hoppers video filming day and I wasn't feeling the greatest. So all I did was basically edited and uploaded my March TBR, which is out now, and I will link that in the description if you want to check that out. And I also read Normal People by Sally Rooney. I actually finished this morning. We'll get to this. I also wanted to say that I watched The Devil Wears Prada, which is one of my favorite movies, just to make me feel better, and I absolutely enjoyed that so much. And on Saturday, I forgot to mention that I watched the new Wonder Woman. I think it's Wonder Woman 84. And it was actually not that bad. I think it's better than the first Wonder Woman movie. The theme of the movie was kind of, we always wish for things to be better, but really where we're in now is the best kind of situation that we can be, even though if it's horrible or the best, it's where we're meant to be and is what we're meant to do, and it makes us who we are at the end of the day. So that's kind of the message that I got from that movie. So now back to reading. So yeah, I finished Normal People by Sally Rooney, and the theme of this book is basically that emotions are messy, life is messy, and we don't always make the best decisions, if not the worst decisions. With these two characters, they both are very, very frustrating and they don't make the best decisions, their emotions are messy, and they don't know what to do with them. But in the end, with Connell and Marianne, we see the difference between them, where Connell is actually trying to make himself better and do better, whereas in Marianne's situation she doesn't. And that kind of represents life in general, or like two types of people, where people want to do better and they do better, and people who always say they want to do better but they stick in their bad situation. This has to do a lot with mental health as well towards the end, like 60 to 100 pages, and I felt like in the middle the story dragged. So I think I mentioned the story is just basically about Connell and Marianne and their life and their relationship. That's it. That's the story. And with that, I think that I would have liked it more if I liked the characters more and if I gave a shit. So I did not care at all about what was going on about Connell and Marianne, their feelings, nothing. But I did understand the message that Sally Rooney was trying to convey, which is that there's no such thing as being a normal person, because being normal is being messy, essentially. And I definitely understand that. So in the end, I gave this 2.75 stars. I wouldn't have picked this up normally. Because I'm picking this up for uni, I had to read the whole thing. But if this was like a normal like reading experience, I wouldn't have picked this up at all. But like I said, I appreciate the message that she was trying to convey, but I just did not care. Glad to be done with this. I did not do any other reading, to be honest. I had to finish that. So I'm going to end the vlog here and start a new one right after this clip. So thank you so much for coming along my week, and I really hope you had a good week, and if you didn't, let me know down in the comments and we'll be sad together. But if you did have a good week, let me know in the comments as well. I would love to hear how your week was and what did you read? Did you like anything that you read? Let me know. Let's have a chat in the comments. If you are watching at the end of the video, let's put a superhero emoji. I just checked my phone. There is a superhero emoji. Like this video if you liked it, subscribed if you haven't. Again, thank you so much for joining me in my week, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next vlog. Bye!